them frozen flat, then it's no problem. They can look at it and be like, oh, that's a rockfish. But just be careful, you know, I would just recommend starting your skinning but leaving the whole skin attached. So if you just start, you can skin it and only leave it attached by that much, but the whole skin's still there, and that way when you defrost, you can just yank it off. It's done, but they count that as the whole skin attached, as long as the whole skin's there and it's still partially attached. So that works, so just lay it out flat. That's probably the easiest way to fillet all your fish, because then you don't have to worry about, was it 1 inch, all the skin, whatever. I don't know. Okay. So, and then it just makes it simple. But again, just ask us and we'll try to help you out. And if we don't know it, we'll look it up for you and take a look.
Graham, I'm just curious, does fish being massy for the log?
Oh yeah.
Is that something that you kind of give to them every time so they can kind of have some idea what's coming up?
I have to, as a passenger fishing vessel, I have to record every fish that comes on board.
Wow.
But I have to have it done at the end of each day. So if I was in day 4 and I had to fill out my log for day 1, I get a ticket. So that's how it works, and that's just the way it is. And that's also, like at the beginning of the day, I know this is all stuff I don't need to know, but at the beginning of the day I have to fill out how many fishermen are fishing on board. And then at the end of the day, I fill out how many fish came on board of each species, and then I do that for each day. And then at the end of the month, I mail them all in. It's for statistical purposes too. But as far as if they come on board in the middle of a trip, well, when you're coming out, crews just marking fish, and there's really not every species is counted. There's a lot of target species like rockfish and lingcod and cabezon and halibut and all that kind of scallops. That's all kept track of. I don't really care about perch, for example. So.
Neither do.
Okay, so there you go. So yeah, just help us out with that. We'll be trying to get a count of your fish as it comes up. So if somebody's, some of the crews down there being like, oh, what do you have there? We'll be taking a look and hopefully, if somebody gets confused on anything, we'll be able to spot it. But you guys just should be careful about that. Make sure you're following all the rules. And there's no problem. As I said, there's not been a problem. It's been fine. They've been courteous and all that. But it's just, we'll see. It's been a month now since, but you never know. I think that we've had all these drug smuggling congas up in this area. And you guys been reading about that. So I think they got a lot of money from Homeland Security to be out here more. Just have another eye out on the waters.
Drug smuggling? What?
Okay.
There's been what? Drug smuggling?
Okay, let's talk about the dive. Enough about that. So just ask us if you have any questions about that. All right, so you guys are all certified divers. You're all 100% responsible for your diving. So what that means is we're not keeping track of your bottom times. We're not keeping track of your surface intervals. That's all 100% up to you. And what we do is we have one of the crew ready to go help you out if something doesn't go quite according to plan. And a couple of signals here. Give us a big okay or a big okay if you're a long ways away from the boat or we're asking for it. Don't give us this okay, because that okay doesn't look like an okay from a long ways away from us. Now if you do need help, give us a big wave, yell, sound signal, anything like that. We're going to come out swimming or in the inflatable, whatever's going to be the quickest way to assist you. If you come a ways away from the boat and you're fine, but there's a little current right here, maybe the current came up, just lost a fin, I don't know. But you need help getting back to the boat, but you're totally fine. Give us one hand straight up, just a fist in the air, and that lets us know, hey, I'm fine, but could you help me out? And then we'll come out in the inflatable. But it allows us to prioritize, and also doesn't make us go into full emergency mode. So that being said, it's not water taxi. We've got 35 divers on board, and everybody just went, and then we have to pick everybody up. We're going to lose dives during the day because it just takes a long time. So happy to help you guys out, but try not to plan on it. If there is current, we're going to have the current line out, which is out right now. You can see that's the current line. It's got floats. Not too much current, but enough to pull the line out right now. And whenever you see that out, you know there's current, and that also is going to tell you which direction the current's going, because it's going to stream whatever way, depending on if we're on 1 anchor, 2 anchors. If we're on 1 anchor, like right now, it's always going to be back behind us, typically, unless there's a little wind and a lot of current. So if that's out, you know there's current, and the idea is that you surface and you swim across the current until you get to the line, and then you hang on to the line. Pull yourself hand over hand back to the boat on the line. Try not to get tangled up in it. It's really easy to do, and then you bring the whole line in, which is kind of a pain, and there's no line for your buddy. We also have an underwater recall. This is a speaker underwater, and it sounds like a siren if we set it off. So if it sounds like you're getting pulled over, it's our underwater recall, and we need you to abort your dive then and there. Now, if we have the underwater recall in the water, it does mean we have some sort of a problem. We don't need to have a second problem, so don't just come rocketing to the surface. Do a safe ascent, but do start your ascent immediately upon hearing that recall. And then once you get to the surface, look back to the boat, and we'll give you one of two signals. We either say stay or come on back. If we say come on back, swim on back on the surface. If we say stay, try to gather in small groups. It's a lot easier for us to keep track of a couple of small groups than everybody strewn all over the place. The most important thing on the underwater recall is that once you come to the surface, please stay on the surface. Any other time during the trip, you want to come up, take a bearing on the boat, go back down, no big deal. But if the underwater recall has been sounded, we are trying to get a head count, so we can't have everybody coming up, going down, coming up, going down, even if we're in thick kelp. Just doggy paddle through it. Hopefully you won't have to hear that. And on and off the boat, we've got 3 gates, and we're going to be opening 1, 2, or 3 of those gates depending on the dive site. This first one will most likely just be the bow gate, just to save you guys enough current swim. That's what I'd recommend. We could jump off the side. It's pretty mild current right now. And we have mask rinsers at each of those, and also lines to lower anything down that you would not like to jump with. So let us know. And the easiest way is just a giant straight off the boat. Make sure to hang on to your gear, particularly your weight belt and your mask, right? And put regulator, not snorkel, because you tend to go under deeper than the snorkel when you step off one of these. And when you come back to the back of the boat, you can swim step all the way down those steps, partially submerged, just come up on your knees, cruise on up to the green, and the crew's going to be back down there. Just still stay on your knees, and we'll pull your fins off, and you can stand up, walk with all your gear. You come onto these benches. While we're looking at those benches, one thing we do need to do is clear all the gear off the benches. So if you have any gear on the back benches or even the front bench, you want to leave those benches clear for people taking tanks on and off and suiting up. You can put gear all along the side. I know we've got a lot of coolers, but there's still some room up there too if you want to leave your gear up alongside of the house. And under the benches is fine, the center is fine. Just keep those benches clear throughout the trip. Let's see. The other thing too, and then once you take your tank off, go ahead and take your first stage off, grab a red tag, which are located all the way in the back of the boat on either side. Put that red tag on your tank valve, and that lets us know you need a tank fill. In theory, if that red tag's been removed, your tank has been filled. In practice, not always the case, so definitely check your air before you get all suited up. Let's see, anything else about that? No, that's about it. If any of that doesn't work for you, just let us know. There's a lot of other ways to get on and off the boat, and we'll figure out something that's going to work for you. So just let us know. If you do need to take your tank off in the water, then just hand us your weights first if you're wearing integrated weights. Weight load, of course, doesn't matter, but it makes it a lot easier for us to lift your tank out of the water if it doesn't have 40 pounds of weight on it. All right, we also have this kayak rack. You're welcome to use a kayak if you like. Just don't hang anything on the rack because it restricts our visibility of the dive site. Any questions about that before? Straightforward. Okay. All right. Next thing too, as far as the dive day is concerned, we're just going to dive all day long, and when the gates are open, you can go jump in. The more kind of concentrated we do the jumps, the more dive spots we can do throughout the day. So just keep that in mind. Especially this first one, I don't want to rush, but if you want to move around a lot today, then you all have to make an effort to get in. You don't have to make every dive either. If we move a lot, there's going to be an opportunity to make probably more dives than you're going to want to do today. And so you can always sit one out. But it's really up to you guys, and I'll be talking to Doug about what we want to do and, jumping around here. And then around 6 o'clock, usually we we get everybody back on board and then have dinner, and then we do a night dive if anybody's interested in night diving a little bit later. Right now that's around 8:30 or 8:15 or so. Okay. Let's see. As far as the trip's concerned, as far as where we're going to dive, we're at San Miguel Island right now, and we have some of the calmest weather I've seen in a couple of weeks at least, maybe even longer. And real fortunate to be up here. The visibility has not been great up here, so keeping my fingers crossed it's improved over the last 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks since I've been up here. And it looks a little bit on the green side, but hopefully it clears up down deeper. But it is pretty amazing that to be able to dive out here, and we're well offshore on the northwest, the most exposed spot really out of the islands is where we are right now. And you can see, I mean, we've just got heavy 3-foot swell kind of rolling through, and no wind. And the wind forecast really good for today, very little wind forecast for today, and then it increases throughout the trip. What we'll end up doing is hopping islands to the east, and hopefully still keep a lot of nice conditions. So whether we stay up here for 2 days is just going to kind of depend on what we find and how tomorrow looks. You know, if visibility is decent enough, then we'll probably stay around here for a couple of days. If you do a whole day and jockey around and can't see anything, then you know, we'll try the other side of the island, try that, and we're probably better off moving on to another island. But I'll let you guys know in the evening what we do, and we just kind of play it by ear, constantly changing our schedule here, just finding the best diving and what we want to do here. Okay, let's see. You want to add anything, Doug?
No, I think you got it.
All right, let's talk about this dive right here. So as I said, we are on 1 anchor right now, and this is a bit of, you know, it's a deeper dive, but it doesn't have to be actually. We're probably only in 70 feet of water right now, and the bow anchor itself is probably going to go down and then up into probably 30 or 40 maybe even, and then it drops off pretty rapidly to about 130. And up ahead of us, it'll do these big canyons. So they're just a series of big canyons for the next, well, probably quarter mile or so. And those are going to range anywhere, the tops of them are going to range anywhere from 50 to 30 where we are right now. And then the bottoms are going to range anywhere from 90 to 130, depending on how long where you go. So I recommend, just because of the current, you know, jump off that bow anchor, go down. You don't have to go all the way to the anchor, but once you see, and then it's going to be deeper out. This side actually drops off on both sides, a little deeper to the south. But it drops off on both sides, even between here and Wilson's Rock. And just, you know, work your way up current that way and choose your depth or check out, see something cool. But probably that's where you're going to be at. The best thing to do is all those canyons up there. And we'll try this one, do one dive here, and then we'll see from there. Maybe I'll slide over in some areas around Wilson's Rock or up where I was driving around this morning by the heebie-and-jeebies or that area. We'll just see how what the current does for us, and what the business is like. So we'll just play it by ear, and that's the plan. Okay, well, I'm pretty much done there. Anything else anybody have questions about? No? Okay, then the only other thing I need to do is I've got some paperwork that needs to be filled out. So if I call your name, I need you to either finish filling out a waiver or fill one out altogether. So I've got Ian.
He's down below.
Okay. Rachel. I just need the top of the waiver filled out. And Kenneth.